you're a scruffy twat. It's important that you know that.
Good looking judge, what could I say?
Please don't, ever.
It's
again.
the wig that does it for me. It's bad because when you pull on it, it comes straight off. It's like, oh, fuck. Ruin the illusion.
That was a visual I did not want. I thought this was a Christmas special. Intro.
Hello and welcome all into the MO podcast. As always, you're here with me, Contumacious Ant.
And me, Andrea.
And as it is that time of year, we're going to be doing a Christmassy episode.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere. No? Okay.
Getting edited.
No, it isn't. We've got to have something for the intro, and you fucking know it.
So we've got a couple of things here, and I just hope we didn't do any of these last year, because I kind of forgot which ones we did, and...
You didn't research? You didn't listen to the last year's podcast?
No, I've listened to it twice, so that's enough.
What good are you?
Not much. I mean,
thought.
that silence says it all, doesn't it, really?
All right, what have you got for me then?
So the first one, we're going to talk about Christopher Kringle, who is the real person that Santa Claus is based on. We did talk about him last year, I do know that, but I've gone a little bit more in depth with...
Christopher Kringle.
No, St. Nicholas.
That's what I was thinking. I'm fairly sure if I went on LinkedIn, Chris Kringle. I mean, he probably is a unfortunate dude who had cruel parents, but yeah.
Yeah, this is not my neighbour who's like just dresses up as Santa in March. He's weird. I would never talk about him. But he gives me presents. So
I bet he does.
So
St. Nick.
Yeah, St. Nick. Yeah, he was. I mean, a lot of this stuff was written after his death, so it's been verbally passed on through the years, so you've got to take quite a lot of it with a pinch of salt. And I think once you hear some of the stories, you may just be like taking a proper salt shaker at this one. Because
did he die horribly like all the other saints? Because I feel like you've got to die horribly to be a saint.
No, he didn't. He actually lived quite into his older age, and I knew I'd missed a bit off because I meant to fucking do this about his dying.
And then he suffocated under a fuck ton of presents.
Yeah. I think he lived into like his 70s, maybe his 60s, his 70s, but don't quote me on that because I've not done the research because I forgot to do it.
It's your podcast, that's all I'm saying.
It's our podcast, but I do all the work.
You do the research. Yeah, your choice. Your choice. I have lots stored up in here, but you won't let me talk about it.
Yeah, because we've been down that road, and it involves Mr. Hitler.
No, it doesn't. It involves the Sons of Sam, and you don't want to die.
Well, yes, I think it's self-preservation that's keeping us from doing that, to be quite honest.
It's world-breaking news, is all I'm saying. He's depriving you all. Just so you know. Just so you know. It's not me, it's him. Please continue with St. Nick and how you don't know how he died.
I mean, his death is a drop in the ocean of the story. But Father Christmas was born into a wealthy family of Greek Christians in the Roman province of Lycia, which is modern-day Turkey, in the year 2070 in the... Is it classical age? I mean, AD.
Sure, why not? Was he actually born Father Christmas?
He was. Cool. See, so his actual name was Nicholas.
Nicholas Christmas.
I couldn't find his surname.
Well, let's just assume it's Christmas, because I feel like then he had his calling.
Well, it could be, but he gained the moniker of Nicholas of Myria of Lycia. So that's a mouthful, and it rhymes as well.
That's not quite as catchy as Santa, though, is it?
No, not at all. And this is the weird thing as well, how, and I've only actually just thought about this today, to be quite honest, how he was born in a Roman province, but he was Christian, because didn't the Romans kill Christ?
I mean...
Weren't that their thing?
It was their thing, but then the Romans did kind of convert to Christianity, didn't they?
Yeah, and I don't know how this happened. It's really weird.
Well, I feel like they were just like, it just seems like so much effort to convert everybody. Like, all these goddamn Christians. There's so many more of them than us. What would be so much easier is if we were just like, oh, Christianity is pretty cool. You know what? We'll all be Christians. Let's write some songs. We'll make some Christmas. Give me oil in my lamp, keep me burning. That one? Should we do that one? We'll do that one. I feel like that was the thing. It's just easier to just, like if you can't beat them, join them.
Could be. Banger, by the way. That is a banger. My nana used to love singing that song. Dave
sings it sometimes in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Just like out of the blue, not even like at Christmas or anything, just for the crack. I mean, I suppose it's not a Christmas song really, is it? It's just a hymn. I don't even think it's a hymn, really. I've never heard it sang in church at all.
Oh no, that's where my nan, she loved that. And we'd all crack up because she was deaf and she couldn't hear herself. So she'd go really high on the sing Hosanna or praise Hosanna on it, and we'd all just crease up. It was in a lovely way.
Your poor Nana, you're a bitch.
It was in a lovely way, but it was just funny anyway. Well, we didn't point at her and laugh and go, you dickhead, you got that wrong.
Just behind her back.
We were actually stood in front of her, so she couldn't see us laughing.
So you couldn't then, could you?
Yeah, exactly. She was probably pointing at us. Wankers, I'm going to fucking make them laugh in God's house, and God will judge them.
I'm going to make them sing this song over and over and over, and when they leave this goddamn house, they will still have that song trapped in their head. In the car on the way home, at school the next day.
This will be my lasting memory. I leave them.
Yes, she knew what she was doing.
Fuck me, she won that battle, didn't she? Jesus, fair play, Lily.
She really did. Yeah. She fucking knew what she was doing.
Get out.
My gran used to make us watch songs of praise. So just be thankful that you weren't related to me.
Yeah, she weren't that bad. I mean, we all are. But, so, Nick's parents died at some point. No dates, obviously. It's all word of mouth, this. And
wow, okay.
He started to give away all their money. Because, why not? So,
well, he doesn't sound very Gen Z.
Yeah, he gave it away to the poor. He weren't just, like, gambling it away or anything like that. He weren't giving it to Paddy Poker or anything. He was giving it to the poor and the people that needed it. And one of his most famous exploits of philanthropy... Mm-hmm. Got that one right.
Like Iron Man.
Yeah, it was paying for women.
Excuse me?
Yeah, so the story goes. A local man who was once wealthy, but he'd lost all his money, probably on Paddy Poker, but apparently it was due to the plotting and envy of Satan, because,
Of course it was.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. I spent it on whores, but it was Satan that was envious of me.
It's not my fault. I'm terrible at poker.
Yeah.
Satan clearly is jinxing me.
Exactly. I
mean, Satan's just like, bitch, no, you be shit at poker.
Yeah. I had 4 kings. Satan had 4 aces. Now, come on. How's that not being a devil? So, he couldn't afford a dowry for his 3 daughters. So, due to being... I'm not going to read that, what I've wrote in my notes. No, I am. Due to being a broke-ass bitch. Don't know when I wrote this. His daughters...
True, though.
Yeah. His daughters would remain unmarried, and they'd have to become prostitutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the patriarchy for you, I suppose. There was no other careers they could go into being unmarried, apparently.
I mean...
I don't know who decided that, but...
I feel like that's not something that would ever cross my dad's mind with me and my sister, because he'd be like, who the fuck's going to pay for these 2? He'd be like, I tell you what, I'll get my magic set out. I'll bring the crowds in with some card tricks.
you be the halftime entertainment, and...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll just get the pom-poms out and be the cheerleaders. Or, the girl that gets chopped in half.
Oh, the ping pong balls.
Because no loss, is it, really?
Well, yeah, exactly.
So if it goes wrong, what have I got to lose?
Yep.
That's my dad, legit.
He's a legend. So
yeah, his daughters were prostitutes.
Yeah.
Continue.
But rather than putting them through the humiliation of accepting this charity with a public donation, and because he was too modest to like go, yeah, just take that, but don't tell anyone, he creeped up to the house and yeeted a bag of gold coins through the window.
Right. Okay.
So he's just sneaking around in bushes now, throwing things, causing vandalism, to be quite frank.
Creepy.
Yeah, and he got sainted for this. So, rather than the father question anything that had just happened, he got his oldest daughter married off straight away and went, yes, one less prostitute in the house. Just got two more. If anything, just got two to get rid of now. And
why did he not go around to all the poor people he gave his money to be like, oh, you know that tenner I give you, could I maybe have it back? Because, you know, didn't expect to have daughters.
Oh, what he could have done is gone up to the poor people and gone, you know that tenner I gave you, right? I've done you a solid, you do me a solid, and marry this ugly bitch. No dowry, yeah?
All that. Yes, that could have worked, yeah.
But no, he just wanted to creep around in bushes and throw things through windows, apparently.
Creepy.
So, shortly after the wedding, he got his camo gear on again and started crawling through the bushes and yeeted another bag of coins through the same window. Now, it did legitimately say the same window in the research, so I assume that the father must have spent all the coins on the wedding rather than get the fucking window fixed.
Or he sleeps with his window open every night because it's really warm.
It could be it's Turkey. Turkey.
Yeah, it's probably hot.
Quite warm there. So, after the second wedding, the father went, hang on a minute, something's going on here. I've just had 2 bags of coins just magically appear. Never mind all that rustling in the bushes and the crashing of the windows breaking. Never mind that, they just magically appeared. So he stayed up for at least 2 nights, quote marks, trying to catch the phantom cash thrower. When he heard the bushes rustling, he stepped outside to accost this really pervy Warren Buffett kind of dude. And when he saw Nicholas outside with the last bag of gold coins for his daughter, and this is a direct quote, he fell on his knees thanking him. So yeah, that's one of his famouser stories. But he became Bishop of Myra, and this was more due to being in the right place at the right time. Now, this is hilarious. I love this story. The bishop before the bishop was his uncle. So his uncle was a bishop of Myra. And when he retired, the bishop that came in was only in for a few months or whatever and then passed away. All the priests of Myra agreed that the first priest to enter the church the morning after this bishop's burial would become bishop. So it's not like you're great at saying mass, you're going to go to the top, you're going to be bishop. It was like, right, first one in the church in the morning, bishop.
First come, first served. Yeah.
So Nick didn't know this because he was away visiting the Holy Land. And the morning of this burial, he just went, you know what? After that journey on that boat, I need a real good pray. So he went to the church. And literally, that is how he became the bishop.
I don't think he was at the Holy Land. I think the Holy Land is the name of a brothel down the street.
Could have been. And he was trying to pray away his sins.
That's where he was. And he was like, Father, forgive me, for I have sinned. The next day, yeah.
The thing is...
And all the bishops are just like, this guy, though.
The fuck?
What a potential saint.
Yeah. Oh, you're the best. You're the best. And he's like, yeah, I am, but don't come near me because I smell of whores.
Thank God they don't know that. Thank God they've never Googled Holy Land to find its street address down the road. Or website.
Street View.
Holyland.xxx.
But I love kind of the visual that gives out, that all these priests are wearing Nikes and fucking best runners, and they fucking running through the streets to try and get to the church first, tripping each other up and elbowing each other out of the way. And they burst through the church doors, and Nick's just there with his duty free and his suitcase. He's like, yeah, all right, boys, just fancy the prey. What's going on? Like,
why didn't he get beat up? I feel like he was definitely going to get beat up.
well, it's funny you should say that, because the next incident in his life is that he twatted a priest.
Oh.
Because he was the bishop, he was invited to the first council of Nicaea. Now, this council was called to decide... There's just stories within stories about this. So this council was called to decide if Jesus was God's son. So it was called to decide if Jesus was important as God.
I mean, he's not as important as God because he's God's son. God's more important, right?
Well, you see, now, because it was like 200, 300 years, he was just born, so he's a new face on the scene, Jesus. So they're all like, well, God's been around forever because he created the heaven and earth, 2,000 years, by my calculations. They were saying there's there were two trains of thought on it, and one was the Trinity, which was basically God's God, but God is also the Son, and God is also the Holy Spirit, or God is God, Jesus is Jesus, and the Holy Spirit is the Holy Spirit. So they were kind of arguing whether God is all these three things, or these three different entities, and if Jesus is important. And because St. Nicholas was an ardent supporter, and I say ardent because he was ready to fight for it, of the Trinity, which God was all three, while someone was trying to debate the other side, he walked up to him and punched him in the face.
Wow. I mean...
Just went, sit down, dickhead.
I mean, I'm an atheist, but I'm anti-Nick at the moment because, like, all right, I'm not being funny, right? But if you believe in, the Bible, I guess, then God created mass out of fuck all. He created a world out of nout, and then he built all the little creatures and stuff. He fucking put Megalodon on Earth, right? That was genius, by the way. Kudos, God.
Yeah.
Right? He built all that, and then he sat back and he was like, let's see what happens. And then Jesus comes along, and he's like, yeah, well, I'm the son of God, aren't I? And everyone's like, well, how do you know? And he's like, well, because my mum said that she never had sex with anybody. So I've got to be the son of God. And then they're like, well, prove it. And he's like, all right, fine. How about we all get wasted, see this water, I'm going to turn it to wine. He didn't make another planet, did he? He didn't, remake the Garden of Eden. He turned water into wine and made some bread. How could he be the same as God?
That's a fair point. Never thought about it like that.
God's done all these amazing fucking things. And then Jesus is like, let's have a party. I've got the bread and wine. Somebody bring the cheese. I'm technically God's son, and I bet God was fucking fuming. I bet he was livid.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, he was only 33. It's like, in the same vein, if your dad gets his magic set now, he'll probably be better at magic next Christmas because he's had a whole year to practice and get better at it. So maybe just because God's been around longer. I mean, you don't know what God created first off, do you? Like, what was the first Big Bang like? He must have been shit. He must have been like, oh, fuck that.
That one didn't work. More phosphorus.
Missed out some uranium there. Right, get back to his mad chemical lab, in his white coat and his big, long white beard.
Yeah.
So practice makes perfect, I think. But I have never actually thought about that all Jesus did was turn water into wine, where God created everything.
Everything. Like the entire universe and galaxy. If that's what, the belief is that God created everything, Jesus can't just say, hey, by the way, I've made this water alcoholic. Now I'm the Son of God. That's not a thing.
Yeah. I mean, now, if anything, I feel more sorry for Jesus because he's always going to live in his dad's shadow, isn't he? Really? Why don't you love me, Dad?
Yeah, because his dad made wooden fucking cribs and horses. His dad was Joseph. His dad wasn't God. Maybe he thought his dad was amazing. He was like, my dad is mint. But there's a big difference between your dad being mint and your dad being God.
Yeah.
Like, how about, okay, so this planet's gone to shit, Jesus. How about you ask your dad to make us a really cool, nice one? Maybe he could remake another Garden of Eden. And Jesus is like, don't know about that. I mean, he's only given me the power to make up bread at the minute, but
Build it
I'm
up
working
to
on
it.
it,
If
right?
I do my chores this week, he's going to upgrade my power.
Yes. You know, like why has nobody noticed this? Why do I feel like I'm the only person that's noticed
It does seem
this?
to be a big flaw. And you know what? I mean, I think we need to get on to Richard Dawkins about this and just ask him if he's ever noticed this.
I mean, I'm not being funny, but Dynamo walked on water.
Yeah.
It proves fuck all.
And the smackhead levitated David Blaine. He's not a smackhead. He's just really tired all the time. Of course he is.
Yes. But do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like Jesus was just like old-fashioned dynamo.
Yeah. Just.
You can't go around and say you're the Son of God when you got no way of proving it. Like, make a planet and we'll talk.
Yeah. You're just living off other people's coattails, aren't you? There, really. You just are not even coming up with the proof.
100%. Yeah. I could say I'm Elon Musk's daughter. I could make a Tesla like that out of cardboard boxes.
Can't be arsed.
I just don't feel like
Not
it.
Not today. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, exactly.
Now to prove, I can just say I'm Elon Musk's daughter and just accept it. Just believe it, right? Send him an email if you don't believe me. I'll say that it's true. I'll just say that I'm, just make sure, because I'm his daughter, but I had this really weird, like, he called me this weird name. Like, it's not Atreya, it's actually E equals MC squared. So just ask him if he remembers his daughter that was E equals MC squared, and he'll be like, oh yeah, I totally remember her. That was before I got with Grimes, and had this other X equals YMC to the power of 9.
Yeah, ask him how his magic stuff's going as well.
Yeah.
So, now that we've alienated most of the religious people in the world.
No, maybe most of the religious people will think, hang on a minute, I might have been conned.
Yeah, that's it.
I never said God weren't real. I said Jesus was playing people.
I mean, this is going down a lot of the magician route, but we've just blown your mind there. Like, Mind Freak, who's that?
Yep.
The Mind Freak guy, we've done that. There you go.
Just think, everybody, how foaming God might be right now.
So, after this priest-aside, Nicholas was thrown in jail. And that man, Jesus, appeared to him.
That man.
So did the Virgin Mary as well. And they released him from his chains and restored his vestments that had been stripped off him because of he was such a, Larry priest. But apparently they just went, nah, they're not right, we're right. And he was restored to bishop. So,
and again, religion makes zero sense.
Yeah, again, pinch of salt with all these. All I'm saying. This is what's been recorded down in the history books, but then, And if you think that's bad, then he's next. The one which he was, I almost said pacified for, but it's sanctified for, was that he actually had the power of necromancy and he could raise the dead.
Whoa. I don't think that's very Christian. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and it's a little bit weird.
It's a little bit Mr. Hitler.
Yeah, well, yeah, if he could, he would. So, once during a famine, a nefarious butcher lured 3 children into his abattoir. Now, I don't know if he wanted to show them puppies or whatever, but where were the parents? That's all I'm going to say. As was his way, because he was a butcher, he murdered the children, cut them up, and placed them into pickling barrels. So his plan here was to sell them as ham.
Probably the worst pies in London.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sweetie Todd.
No, Jesus didn't make pies, and take that back. Only wine and bread.
Sorry. Yeah.
Not even pies.
He was just brewing. He wasn't good with in the kitchen. So Nicholas was in the area, just being his normal self, giving away his parents' money. He didn't earn it, so it doesn't matter to him, does it? He's caring for the needy. Yeah. Feeding them real ham, probably, not children.
Not pickled kids.
Yeah. So he then pops into the butcher's. Sausages in it. Needs some sausages to feed all these needy people. And he immediately saw through the lies that this butcher was trying to tell him.
How?
Which I don't understand it, because this is literally what it said. He saw through the lies. And then he went over to the barrel, made the sign of the cross over it, and resurrected the 3 boys.
In pieces, or?
This is the thing. No, they came out whole. Even though they went in pieces, they came out whole.
So he walked into this butcher shop and he was like, I have got a hankering for sausages, and if you could do me a couple more pounds of sausages, because I'm going around and I'm feeding the poor today. And the butcher was like, sausages, absolutely not a problem at all. My sausages are probably the best sausages in London. And he's like, okay, hold on. Why are you pickling kids in barrels? And the butcher's just like, whoa, whoa, hold your horses there. What makes you think that? And he's like, I smell pickle.
I smell children. I'm a priest.
Fucking, like, what the fuck? Like, okay. I'm more sus of Nick at this point than the butcher.
Yeah.
How does he know what pickled dead kids smell like? Is all I'm saying.
And that's it. Maybe he fitted him up. Maybe he went to butcher, give him some of his parents' money, and went, "You kill these kids and sell them as ham." And then he did a double cross and went, with a police officer, "Come with me. Watch this. I know where there's pickled children."
You see this one, Ossifer? It's still wearing Reeboks. Yeah.
Still got a finger spinner in its
Fidget
hand.
spinner.
What's that about? That's the one.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. Nick is sus for me. Oh, you fucking ruined the Coca-Cola advert for me completely. I hope you're fucking happy.
Yeah, I am. I mean, in fairness, Dutch historian Jonah Lendering does state that this story is, quote marks, without any historical value.
You reckon? What gave that away?
He went to fucking university to go, yeah, that story seems a bit sus, that, really. He resurrected children from a barrel that had been sliced up.
I'm not buying this guy. This guy is sus as.
Yeah.
Red is sus.
So, he died at some point, obviously. And he was buried in Myra, which is where he was a bishop from. But some sneaky Italian sailors went and robbed his grave and took the bones back to Bari.
Why?
Because they were holy artifacts. Because he resurrected pickle children, apparently, and punched other priests. Seen as a good thing.
I feel like they should have got the witness statements from the kids at this point. The ones that were pickled.
Yeah. Who did it? It was a guy he was wearing red, he had this mad hat on, and he had a big, long, white
massive beard. I think also that he came here in a getaway vehicle pulled by, potentially, I mean, they looked like dogs but with antlers. I mean, I guess they might have been reindeers, if reindeers are even in Turkey. I don't know that Turkey has reindeers native to it, but I would say they were most definitely, I've never seen a reindeer in my life, but I would say they're most definitely probably potentially reindeers Or dogs
You'll
with
s-
antlers sellotaped to their heads.
You'll spot them a mile off. One's got a big fuck-off red nose.
And they're pulling a sleigh that's levitating all the way through the air. That would be the guy you're looking for.
Yeah, that's him.
You've just ruined my childhood.
Yeah, sorry. Probably ruined quite a few people's there. I mean, he's St. Nicholas, and it's Sinterklaas is the Dutch, which his name is translated to, and it's his gift giving and philanthropy that he's associated more so with Santa. But in the old stories, like pre Coca-Cola, he wore green and went around. I think it was Bavaria and the Low Countries giving out gifts, but then Coca-Cola came in and decided to paint him red.
I mean, hey, you got free Coke. What do you care? It's the greatest advert for Christmas of all time.
Yeah. I hate it.
Do you, though? Have you seen the John Lewis adverts? Because there's something to hate.
Yeah. I steer
so
away.
Sad. No, they're not.
Yeah. I steer away from TV and radio this time of year because you're only guaranteed radio because you got Mariah Carey, the Pogues, fucking Noddy Holder.
Oh, I like the Pogues.
I like it, but when you've heard it 18 million times, it's like it gets grates on you a bit.
I mean, it's that, then, or you can get like, you know, Justin Bieber starts releasing new Christmas tracks, and then you think like, bring back Noddy.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Justin Bieber is?
I wish I did. That's a lie. I know who he is. But
thank God for that, because...
We'll talk about a Welsh tradition now. And you may know this.
What the... Why would I know it?
I don't know. I'm sure we may have, spoke about it briefly last year.
Well, I'm not Welsh.
Anyway, and I wasn't accusing you. Jesus, don't be so defensive. The Welsh are people too.
I know, but you were like, you might know this. Like, I should know something because it's Welsh.
This is called the Mari... Right, I'm going to butcher everything here. So... Tough. It's called the Mari Lwyd.
Okay. Didn't sound very Welsh.
Mari Lwyd. Is that better?
Much better, yeah.
God. Cancelled. Cancelled. Fucking hell. I am now after this line. Fucking hell. So, as we all know, the Welsh are mad as a bag of frogs. It's
says
not
the
racist.
Mancunian.
No, I am part Welsh in my genealogy, so it's not racist. Right?
Really? I don't know how you've got part to be anything else. Really?
Got a lot of stuff. My dad put it about. What can I say? I've got a lot of stuff inside me. That could have come out better. But true. Mm-hmm. So the Mari Lwyd. Oh no, I can't keep doing that.
Sorry. That brought it out of me.
So
continue.
It's a horse's skull attached to a pole, decorated with ribbons that has a white sheet draped from the back of the skull, which conceals the pole and the person carrying the pole.
So it makes it look like a horse in a headdress.
Yeah, so it's quite horrific. And the party, there's a party of people, not just
of course
this one thing, of 4 to 7 men. They're all dressed up with ribbons and rosettes attached to their clothes. There's a leader who carried a stick or a staff. There's merry men who played music, and Punch and Judy, both played by men though.
These men want to get a grip.
I tell you, I mean, this patriarchy is terrible. It's spreading everywhere.
Their wives are sat at home like, I wish they would just act their age, not the shoe size. I wish they would just grow up. Got shelves need fixing here, the lawn needs mowing, and they're out prancing around with fucking Punch and Judy puppets and a horse's head and a sheet.
In fairness, it does sound like just like a Friday night in Cardiff, not a tradition.
Yes.
So the party would approach a house and sing to the occupants for admittance. Now...
Give me oil in my lamp. Let the fuckers in. Make them stop singing.
So they sing obviously in Welsh, but I'm not doing that. So they sing, "Well, here we come, innocent friends, to ask leave, to ask leave, to ask leave to sing."
What if you just said no?
For some reason, you can't. I don't
Why
know.
can't you?
I don't know. So the occupants have to respond with a song.
No, you can't sing at my front door. Fuck off now.
Fuck off, you cunt. I'm trying to have my tea.
Like they couldn't have just done that.
Yeah. So basically, they have this musical battle, which...
Oh, God. They have a sing-off.
Yeah, but no one employs the brown note, which is if I'm getting in a musical battle, that's the first thing I'm reaching for. I don't care. Like, go home, you shit yourself, son. That's it. So it'd go back and forth until one side ran out of ideas and gave up. Now, if the occupants lost the rap battle, they would have to let these crazy people in and provide them with ale and food. Just what you want to do. Give more drink to the drunks.
Oh my God, you better believe those guys definitely came prepared, didn't they? They were like, we are not going to run out of songs. Who's got... Now that's what I call 100. Tell me every song on the list, and then once we're out of that, we'll move on to now that's what I call 99, and move backwards from there. Right. Jeff, you ready?
That's it. They've been in the writer's room for fucking 6 months straight with this.
Prepping.
Knocking out album after album. And they're like, right, we got these. And then once inside, the Mary Louise would run around the house, neighing and snapping its jaws at the children.
Oh, God.
Because why not give them PTSD? And just creating havoc. The merry men would be playing music all the while, and the leader would just pretend to try and stop the Mary Louise. Like, oh, stop it. Yeah, but not really.
Oh,
right.
Stop it, you guys. That sounds mostly amazing. Carry on.
Yeah, and then just like, have you got another beer? And I'll make him stop it. I promise. Just the one after this one, I'll make him stop it. I'm not sleeping, I'm resting my eyes. I'll make him stop it in a minute.
Here's a thought. Could they not have just closed the curtains and turned the lights off and pretend they weren't in?
Like you do with trick-or-treaters.
Yeah.
Surely.
Every year. You would think so, right?
Yeah, but they're Welsh, innit? They're not that clever, I suppose. Look at Adele. I don't even know if she's Welsh, to be quite honest with you.
I don't know, but Michael Sheen's Welsh and I kind of love him.
Okay, I'll walk back from that.
Yeah,
Yes.
because you can't not with Michael Sheen. It's Michael Sheen. Come on.
Yeah. That's fair
amazing.
enough, yeah. I apologise. I will edit all this out just for Michael Sheen.
He is a legend.
Yeah, I won't, but I wonder if he dresses up.
He
Wonder if he's done this.
He most definitely does. Have you seen his and Kate Beckinsale's Christmas parties? They're fucking amazing. They're not even together. They're not even married anymore, but they have like fancy dress and they're just mad. It's amazing. I love them so much. I love them both so much.
Weren't Kate Beckinsale weren't she the fit one?
She is the fit one. She's 48. She's got legs for days and washboard abs, honestly.
Yeah, weren't she the one, the vampire hunter?
Yes.
Weren't she in that film? Is that her?
Yes,
Well, he's punching.
Well,
I
right.
like him, but he's punching there. Well done.
She's
no wonder.
amazing.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, well done. A round of applause. Fucking hell.
I know,
GG.
right?
So... She's never going to hear it anyway, is he? So...
You never know.
Yeah.
Michael Sheen, if you're listening, I love you.
Yeah, I do too, but if you want to forward on your ex-wife's number...
Ooh, back up. First come, first served. Hello.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, that's sloppy seconds.
All right,
mean,
fine, okay.
I'll wait patiently. I'll just watch in the cupboard. I don't
Wow.
mind.
Wow. Back up.
On that bombshell, that feels like an on that bombshell moment. But We'll move on to Bulgaria, Turkey, and Serbia. Mm-hmm. Now, these people have something called... Oh, here we fucking go. The Garagongolos.
Do you never YouTube these words before you say them?
No. Do you know what? For the Welsh song, quote marks, I was going to have it up on Google Translate and let the robot speak.
No, never do that.
Forgot all about it. And the Welsh one sounds properly like a robot. It doesn't even sound... Whereas the Spanish one sounds a little bit Spanish, and the Italian one, you can kind of hear the accent. The Welsh one just sounds like a robot. I was like, nah, it's fine.
Just do YouTube. YouTube it.
Okay. Well, maybe
Next
no one
time.
else... Maybe no one else knows about this. I'm groundbreaking in my research here.
All right, Mr. Hitler.
Jesus fucking whipped. So this thing, not going to say it again, is a cross between the devil and a Sasquatch that hangs around on street corners during winter nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Specifically on street corners.
That is exactly what it said. So the people that walked past him were propositioned with a riddle. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the answer to the riddle be something like 20 L&B lights.
Yeah. Do you want to go around the back of the bins? 50 quid. So it's not just one riddle. There's several riddles. And if the passerby gave an answer which contained the word black, then they were free to go on their merry way. Yeah, however, if they didn't, he would mess them up. He'd just punch them once and they'd die.
Nice. One hit kill. Love it.
Yeah. And depending on the region, they would also disguise their voices and try and lure victims out into the snow. But sometimes they would hypnotise the person and leave them to free roam around the country. But their favouriteest thing was to jump on the person's back and ride them round like a horse.
I mean, it sounds like fun times.
Yeah, and then just getting them to take them place to place, like just a taxi.
To the pub, Henry.
Yeah.
Forthwith.
Just wait out here for me. Be out in an hour.
I shall tether you immediately. Here's some hay. Stable boy, look after my person.
put a fucking horse feed bag on him. Filled with Burger King.
A nose bag filled with Burger King. I love it. I want one of those. So
if the Caracanoncolos, I think that was better, was invited into your house, why would you be inviting a devil, something that looks like a devil and a Sasquatch into your house? Do you want a brew, mate? Come in.
We are legit just putting on Bigfoot and the Hendersons. Would you care to join?
Come on, credits haven't even started rolling yet. Get in here. It would mimic the host's behaviour. So, if you scratch your ass, it would. But if you set fire to a thread, it would set fire to its own fur and then run out of the house like some mad Looney Tunes character, try to find a lake or pond to dive into.
What would possess you to just suddenly set fire to something you were wearing or a piece of your furniture in your own house?
No, so it's like a little bit of string or a thread or something.
But yeah, that's just the thing that you do. Who does that?
But why are you inviting them in if you want them to set fire to it? This is some kind of masochistic shit, this. It's come in, we've got mince pies, but I've also got a lighter and a piece of string, dickhead. What?
Where do these do you know what? These traditions make Krampus seem completely and utterly sane and normal.
Yep, definitely. Well, the last one is from Greece. So that's going to be easy to pronounce, isn't it? Yeah. The Kalinkanzaro. No. The Kalikantzaro. Anyway, these...
I wish I could correct you, but I haven't Googled it either because I come into these episodes completely blind. So
Yeah,
I can't even
no,
correct
that's
you.
right. It's right. You don't need to Google
okay.
anything.
No,
yeah,
if you say
listeners,
so, yeah.
don't. Even if you're Greek, you know that's right. You don't.
Anyone
even
knows
need
Greek,
to
please
correct
feel
me.
free to correct him. Yeah.
No. So these are a group of demons that spend their year underground, soaring through the tree of life that runs through the earth. When just a single thread is keeping the tree together, it's at this point that the demons go, need a little bit of a walk, need to stretch my legs. And they decide to wander the earth. And this happens during the 12 days of Christmas. So
Sounds like a great idea.
yeah, they've nearly finished what their whole point in life is, and they go, you know what, we've been at this too long. 353 days. Is that right?
Who's up for a brew?
Yeah, let's just go and take in the sights. I've never been to the Parthenon, you know. I hear it's lovely this time of year.
We'll come back to this. There's only a thread left to cut.
Piece of piss. We'll sort that out. Knock it out in one day. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So they do when they're walking around, they do go and create chaos and general mischief. But their main mission during this time is to steal any babies born during these 12 days of Christmas that they're on the earth. Yeah. And take them back underground where they would turn in to these demons.
To be fair, I feel like most children probably born in the 12 days of Christmas probably would prefer that because they're the unfortunate people that have a combined Christmas and birthday, you know, where the parents are like, oh, we'll just celebrate your birthday and Christmas in one, or they get shit sets of presents for Christmas and their birthday because it's in the same month, in the same 2 weeks.
Yeah. My nephew was born on the 15th of December.
Yeah, poor kid.
Never gave him a birthday present. Gave him Christmas presents, never a birthday present.
That's my thing. I feel like if I was one of those kids, I'd prefer to be underground making everybody else's Christmas shit.
Yeah, you
So
just
they
take
knew
your
how I
revenge.
feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers. You couldn't have waited another month before you knocked boots, Mum and Dad. Great.
Exactly. Yep.
So these demons could actually be kept at bay with a colander. Which is just the most randomest thing.
Why?
So it's random because of why. Because you place it outside your house and they would have to count the holes. But because they can't get past the number 3, they have to keep restart. Why does it have to be a colander if they can only count to 3? Such a random thing.
Oh, I fucking love it.
Now, I'm not saying a colander's like a modern day invention, but has it been around since the 1800s or whatever?
That's nuts.
A rake, that's got 4 things on it. Just put
They'd be
that
screwed,
outside.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can't get past 3. It's not like, they can't get past 28. So it's like, fucking hell, I have to find something with 30 things.
Even like 4 rocks. Like, don't waste your colander.
This is it. It's like, fucking hell. It's got rusty. It's rained. It's got rusty now. What am I going to strain my veg in?
Exactly. Trying to do the sprouts on Christmas Day and they're like, I left the colander outside.
I'd use
Dogs
a sieve.
shit in it and everything.
I'd use a sieve, but the broccoli gets stuck in the little holes. It ruins it.
What a bizarre... Like, I get the whole, like, trying to hinder a demon and stop them from being demonic it's a common thing, isn't it? Where you get them to count lots of things. Like, usually it's grains of rice or lentils or something like that. But putting your colander out, mine was £8 from IKEA. Am I putting that outside? £8?
Can let them come in. Let them come in and take the baby. I don't give a shit. That baby's going to cost me a lot more in the long run than that fucking colander. I mean, it's just... It's because the number 3 in Greece is holy. I mean, it is with...
It's everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's the Trinity. It's the witching hour is 3 a.m. So 3 is a lot of things. And like you say, counting stuff is a way that demons do get confused. And then they counting bristles on a broom, I've heard, counting rice, and it takes them so long that dawn comes and then they have to go into the shadows. But fucking 3. I mean, how stupid are these things?
I mean, I have OCD in the form of, like I would feel the need to count how many staples somebody had used if they borrowed my stapler kind of deal, like Moss from the IT crowd. But
you're a fucking nerd.
I would struggle if I couldn't count past 3. I would be like, why am I even doing this? I know I can't get past 3. Like, I can literally see that by looking that there is more than 3 things there to count. So why don't I just incinerate this person?
See, yeah, that's it as well. I mean, these guys aren't really that clever because by the time 12 days are over and they go back underground, the tree has healed itself and they have to start over from day 1.
And they've taken all the colanders. They've got all the colanders in the village below ground and they're still counting them bastard holes.
Yeah. So they do easily get distracted. And, I mean,
what a bunch of morons.
Yeah. But one way you can keep the babies safe is by binding them in straw and garlic. So,
or making them a colander hat.
Fucking hell, yeah. Just put the colander in the cot next to them.
Just make them wear it as a hat.
Jesus, yeah. Oh, I've got visions in my head there.
I'm here all year to keep us sane. To point out the obvious that nobody else seems to have noticed.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus, why? You could make life so easy for yourselves, but no, you just have to go around the houses, don't you?
Yeah.
all this fucking folklore, Jesus.
See, you mock me, except when I make perfect sense.
No, yeah, I mean it doesn't happen a lot, but this one's to be honest with you, I'd put this episode on your CV just because I feel it's that strong for you.
Well, thanks, I appreciate that.
This is what I can do. At certain points, I can make sense.
I can remind Christians what they've missed all along.
Dickheads.
Yes.
So, on that bombshell, we will wish you a Merry Christmas because why not? Thank you all so much. Have a happy Christmas and join us next time when it will be the last episode of this season and this year. So, have a great week as always. This has been the MO podcast. I've been Consummation San.
And I've been Atreya. Very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all.
Yeah, we've still got one next week, so you can wish them Happy New Year next week. I was just doing the Christmas one, but whatever.
Well, I mean, I might still be hungover in New Year.
Yeah. To be honest with you, next week's one's not going to be good. So the majority of people probably won't listen to it after the first 5 minutes. That's what the analytics say anyway.
They really do.
On that bombshell.
Bye.
Podcast. The MO podcast. The MO podcast.